First note card, second note card. Okay, today we're going to talk about something that might end up saving your life. It's called the tourniquet. And in our profession, when we're more susceptible to getting wounds and unfortunately gunshot wounds, stab wounds, things like that, this is something that can actually stop the hemorrhaging and the blood flow. It might actually save your lives and give you a little more extra time to get medical attention. So when we receive an injury to an appendage, we may only have minutes to seek medical help. The use of a tourniquet may extend that time and aid in the prevention of death or as a result of these injuries. We're going to go over the history of the tourniquet, the statistics to see if they actually work, the nomenclature, which is essentially the different names for the things on the tourniquet, and the proper application of the tourniquet. The first known use was in 1674 by the French Army. It comes from the French word tourner, which means to turn. So in our instance, it would mean to tighten. So that would be the original term for the tourniquet. I got that from the Emergency Medicine Journal, was the reference on that. So the military, talk about statistics. The military found in all their studies that 7% of combat wounds in the field could be prevented if they were using a tourniquet, especially in the Vietnam War. So you figure there's tens of thousands of military soldiers that died in the Vietnam War. If 7% of those could have been saved, that's a substantial amount of people that would have made it back home to a family and unfortunately wouldn't be on the wall in Washington, D.C. and things like that. So that's actually a very important tool. So on the wound, or on the battlefield, 60% of combat wounds are from extreme hemorrhage. And what I mean by extreme hemorrhage, I've actually a thing here from the Red Cross, which is that I pulled, that shows types of bleeding. So an extreme hemorrhage would be a life-threatening injury. So that would be spurting or pulsating blood that's bright red. So if you see something that's spurting out and it's bright red, that's life-threatening. So we need to get the tourniquet on relatively quick. Something that's darker red, but a slow, steady flow is potentially life-threatening. So we still want to get a tourniquet on, we want to get it on quickly. And last but not least, a slow trickle. So if you get cut or something, it's like, you know, a normal paper cut and starts, that's probably not going to need a tourniquet, but you know, obviously you're going to need some kind of a bandage. The parts of the tourniquet, I pulled that off of the Wisconsin Health Emergency Preparedness Coalition. And actually we have one here, so we'll actually look at both. So this is called the wineless, which is this long rod here. And what that uses to tighten down the tourniquet once you apply it to stop the blood flow. The red end here is called the running end. That's the one that's easy to grab and pull. It's even got the red end on there so that you can actually see it right away. You're not searching for it. We have the delta clip, which is back here. That's what we use to clip onto your uniform or whatever you need to be. You also have the I can't ever say this word, circumferential band, which is the actual loop that your arm goes through. And then also the quick release buckle, which is here, that if you get it tightened down, you need to release it again. You can do it a little bit quickly. So proper application of this. So obviously it doesn't work unless you're above the wound. So if I get gunshot here, I put my arm through, tighten this down right away, make sure the Velcro latches, and then I start tightening down. Take the wineless here, we start tightening down, we get it, and then you're going to keep tightening until the blood stops. So once it's, and it's probably going to be pretty tight, your arm's going to be numb. Once it does, the blood's going to stop. You want to put this over there, and on ours are combat, which we get from off ITS combat, and you can actually write down the time that you put it on. Once you put the time on there, that'll tell the hospital when you get medical attention how long it's been on, which could be crucial because you could leave it on too long and it could, need to, to remove a limb or something like that. So obviously you want to get on. Once you remove this, or if you don't need it and you're just storing it for your duty shift, proper storage, which we also got off at ITS Tactical, and I actually have a printout here of that. It shows, basically, if you see the pictures, that we just fold it in half like this. Make sure the wineless is straight up and down. and then you can just put it in a pouch, I put it in my cargo pocket, makes it easy. What that is you don't want to be fumbling around with this whenever you're actually injured. So if you want to make sure it's quickly, easy to get out, put on, because you might only have a few seconds. If you look at these 2-liter bottles, one of these 2-liter bottles represents half the blood that a adult human has. So if you look at your whole body, this is the entire blood that you have in your body. If you actually get a serious wound, this is going to go pretty quick. So I would think that probably maybe half of one of these, or maybe a portion of one of these, you're going to lose consciousness if you lose that much blood. So if you lose consciousness and nobody's around, you can't get the tourniquet on. You can't get the tourniquet on, then you're going to have some serious problems, and you might end up, unfortunately, passing away from that. So you want to make sure that you get it on there before you lose too much blood flow. You get it tight and make sure the hemorrhaging stops. Okay, just to review a little bit. Like I said, the history of it. Originally in 1674 was the first known use. This has saved tons and tons of people. Military says it could have saved 7% of people within the Vietnam War that were wounded, which is a large number. Has 5 major parts: the windlass, the quick release buckle, the running end, circumferential band, and the delta clip. Proper application to put it over the arm, pull, start tightening down with the windlass until your hemorrhaging and the blood flow stops. Once it stops, pull that over, write the time on it, and make sure that you get to the medical attention quickly. Okay? Any questions? All right, thank you.